This area that we're sat in now was all bramble last year, and a lot of the people here are the ones who've cleared it, and you can see we got up to there and we stopped, and it's quite an obvious line that we got to. This is all the work of all the people who've been coming. If you imagine it as a large triangle, we're in the bottom right hand corner of it. We have a border with the Tortworth Court Hotel, and they have a number of trees that are part of the original Arboretum plantation, and those are beautifully managed with lovely lawns, and each specimen tree is beautiful on its own and looked after. And then you cross over that boundary line and it's just sort of chaos basically on this side. Volunteers bringing skills in, bringing project ideas in, will be able to develop it into a place where people can come, and there'll be a little kitchen area, and there'll be potentially a roundhouse and compost toilets and that sort of thing, wood stores. The idea is to restore it for community use. I'd really like it to be somewhere that people who don't necessarily have access to a woodland, who don't normally spend time outside, who might be intimidated by the idea of being in the wild, it's a space where they can come and develop skills and learn. Marginalised young people, adults who maybe are seeking opportunities to get skills on their CV, to get back into work, who face barriers to volunteering and work. And those are the sorts of people that we will be bringing in over the years to gain skills, to gain self-confidence, to take ownership over little areas in the woods. It's a very collaborative project. It's not just us here, it's a lot of groups of people who'll be coming in and using it.
I think it's going to take a while, but each time we clear something else, so a pathway to somewhere, and even if you can't clear all of it, you could clear pathways so that you can still see it and experience it. And I like that thing about lots of different areas. We've got a group on Facebook, so we get lots of messages, this is what we're doing, and try and encourage other people to come and join us as well.
So there's only so much time everyone can give. But yeah, we try and get down once a month, and we're hoping to do more in future, I suppose.
Yeah. Sometimes when it's pouring with rain and you have to work to keep warm. There were only 4 of us that day, I think. Yeah. But we got so much done with the rhododendron that day because you had to do it to keep warm, basically. And then other days when it's really sunny and we have maybe 15 people here, so it fluctuates. And with volunteers, it's just going to fluctuate. And this could all be sort of lovely, lawn if we've got the right machinery in, and it could be done quite quickly. But actually, what we want is user groups coming in, feeling ownership. And we've been talking to the landowner about the potential of replicating this model in other parts of the country. I try and make it so that the volunteers have a say in what they want to do next. People tell me what they think is the next thing that they think is important to do on the list, basically. So this is an amazing tree that's being strangled by rhododendron, let's get the rhododendron out, and then this tree's got a chance to survive. Being able to just stop and have really hearty, good food. It's not cheap food, it's well prepared, it's fresh ingredients, and it means that everyone can come, sit down and relax, and they all start talking about what they've been doing and sort of enjoying the days. It's really important.
The biggest thing for me is the communal thing about cooking around the fire. That's really important. When we've had overnight events and we've sat all around the fire, and there's like lots of different people putting their bit of the food on. That's really fab. I really like that.
So we all have to earn it first.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 sets of loppers, some pruning saws, some secateurs.
I want this one as well to strip the. You remember last time we did the bamboo?
They're not quite as leafy this time, and so we carry these safely like this.
Yeah. Oh, you got the new ones.
We can swap over, it's fine.
Just drag it over, that's the way I did it last time.
Cool. All right.
And I'll put all the lemon juice over.
There's a sort of, I think it's a spring runoff that goes down the hill into the river. And basically this bamboo is making the most of it. And it's spreading really, really quickly, and we just want to open up a pathway into where those other trees are, get some light to them. It's going to be an annual task, I think, this. You have to take away any barriers to access and transport, being able to get themselves here, being able to pay for food, that kind of thing. It can be a barrier. trying to enthuse people to come and get involved. The days itself are actually very enjoyable because I get to come out and do work with everyone else and have a good time outside, but the rest of it is funding applications and things like that. We have some funding from the Nineveh Charitable Trust, and their funding has meant that I can get a little minibus put on from Bristol, so people who don't have cars can still come up without it having to cost them any money at all. So we're very grateful for that. The funding I've got will cover some proper hand tool training for volunteers as well, which is useful for them. If you're in a woodland like this, it's really beautiful, but you start getting power tools out and suddenly you've got petrol fumes and the noise, and it's, the birds all run away and it's not quite as pleasant. I found such a strong network of people who are very into sustainable food growth and woodland management and that kind of thing, who can advise and support. The value of it really is in getting people out here and learn about the trees and learn about the seasons and learn about nature. I think a lot of children, if they're not brought outside and they're not shown the natural world, then why would they have any idea about looking after the planet or not using too many resources and throwing things away all the time. Tremendous sense of achievement when they've cleared an area, and then they come back the next time and see that it's all started regrowing, and it's quite an important sort of learning lesson that actually it takes a lot of maintenance and things do grow, and sort of learning about how the seasons work and that sort of things. We are part of nature, we're not different, we're all part of this system. That sense of ownership over the work that you've done, you're going to be much more motivated to keep coming back and checking that it's okay and watching the wildlife come back in the area that you've been working on and knowing that that's all your work, I think is quite powerful. We've got a bit of new clearing that's got silver maples. And what kind of oak is it?
Yes, it's Cecilite.
I decided I'm a bit sick of my little
Yeah, the wild garlic was nice, so I used that in the cooking. But I think I need to learn more about what we've got here, find the season so that we time it, that we work it well. We could work a calendar out, couldn't we?
Beech leaf wine.
You meant to do it when the beech leaves are first coming out. I don't know why that is. I think they get a bit kind of bitter. You might be able to make tonic water and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be
All
fabulous.
kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's such a variety of stuff.
That'd be why it would be great to set up the kitchen,
Yeah.
the round house, and then once we've got a kitchen, so we've got stuff year round or most of the year.
We're going to constantly have to revisit the bamboo. We've only made a small, narrow entrance to another clearing. We've got a wide area that we need to get through, but we just do it bit by bit. And over the years, that entranceway will become wider. If we held a workshop for a day or something like that, it's actually a really nice contained flat area where you could have little stalls and people showing things.
And it's quite easy to get to from the road at the top, so you can actually get stuff right up to the top and down to there without too much problem as well.
We've got people coming in who are naturally wanting to do it and to look after it because that's what they're using for their workshops or camping weekends or whatever it might be. I think we would quite like to have a commitment of a certain number of days in a year. So the way we do it at the moment is you come once and then we have a chat afterwards about whether you enjoyed it, whether you want to come again, whether there's anything we could maybe change to make it easier for you depending on your own needs, so that you can enjoy it more and get more out of it. So it's constantly evolving.
This is a lot more rewarding than looking at a laptop. So but it's getting out and actually getting up some sort of getting yourself out of breath with doing some work is quite nice for a change as well. So.
Yeah.
Just getting out of the city for a day and just getting back to nature for a little bit. It's nice rather than just being in this concrete shell of living in Bristol. It's not too far away, so you get time to come out and be in the open air.
I've been kind of looking at something to do beyond computers, and so it's nice having this experience because it kind of opens up other ideas.
Just overhearing people go, oh, we saw a thing and then we did another thing and it meant that we got through to the other place and imagine what you could do in this spot here, and that's just magical, listening to everybody sort of going through that process of feeling ownership over it and feeling rewarded for what they've done just by being in the woods. you know, you can't, yeah, that's why I do it. I think.
Beardy Pete.
Matt. Mike.
Jake.
Karen.